The Siberian tiger who craved vengeance. Siberian tigers live in Russia's east in the dense wilderness of Khabarovsk, Primorsky, and Amur regions. They number a little more than 500 individuals on Russian territory, with another several dozen having been spotted in China. The Siberian wildcat is different from its southern counterparts because of its humongous size and resistance to the cold. In winter, these tigers grow a thick coat with a 5-centimeter layer of fat on their bellies. In Khabarovsk region in 2021, specialists received more than 280 messages of tiger sightings in residential areas, of which half have been confirmed. Primorsky territory accounts for about 100 of them. The Siberian tiger can weigh over 500 pounds and can be more than 10 feet long from nose to tail. These majestic tigers can jump as far as 25 feet vertically. They can jump over a basketball hoop, but a tiger can jump as high as it needs to. In this video, we will talk about a Siberian tiger who waited behind the door for 48 hours to avenge his attacker. Who won a game of life, the tiger or the attacker? Watch the video till the end to know that. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content. Without further ado, let's begin the video. A heartless poacher lived in Russia and often visited the jungle to shoot an animal. He would later sell his kill and receive a lot of money. It became his habit to earn money in this way. The poacher was a resident of Siberian and lived in a cabin. He was best known for keeping bees. His house had a simple structure that stood on the high side of a gentle south-facing slope surrounded by a thick forest of birch, pine, and alder. It seemed like he purposefully chose a place to live close to the forest and kept his illegal job a secret. It was a lonely place to live alone, but it was beautiful. He would go for a hunt in the morning and return in 24 or 48 hours. In 1997, as usual, the poacher planned to go on a hunt. This time he was planning something big that would make him rich. He prepared his bag with things he would need on his way, like a rifle to shoot the target, food, water, and other equipment required for the hunt. After walking for hours, he reached a place famously known as the territory of Siberian tigers. He hid behind a tree and waited for his target to appear. After a few hours, he saw a beautiful Siberian tiger walking with his vigor in the forest's center. Maybe it was searching for food. Without making any sound, the poacher brought out his rifle and pointed it toward the tiger. He knew any mistake would cost him his life, so he wanted to be very careful. Siberian tigers can sense danger and attack within seconds. They can jump as far as they want to. Before the tiger could sense the presence of someone, the poacher shot him down. The tiger began to growl in pain and rage. He wasn't able to move, which gave the poacher the idea that it wasn't life-threatening for him anymore. The poacher decided not to shoot again because it seemed like the tiger would pass away in a while. The poacher appeared from behind the trees. This was the first time the tiger looked at its attacker. The poacher realized that the tiger was injured and unable to make any move. He slowly walked towards the tiger despite knowing it could be perilous. He sat a few steps away from the tiger and pulled out his backpack. He pulled out a dagger from his bag and stole the tiger's kill. The injured tiger was in pain but had no energy to fight the poacher. After doing his job, the poacher decided to let the tiger live. The tiger and the poacher stared at each other for a few minutes. The poacher realized that the tiger wasn't afraid of him despite being injured. The poacher realized that he was getting late and may not be able to go back to the cabin before dark, so he quickly began to walk towards the exit of the forest. The injured tiger kept staring at him until the poacher disappeared. The poacher made it back to his cabin after a few hours. The following day began like a typical day, and the poacher continued doing the same job for the next few days. The head of the local squad of an anti-poaching unit known as Inspection Tiger, an organization created by the Russian government to combat the black market trafficking of tigers and tiger parts, Trush was well suited to work in tiger country. He was physically imposing, a skilled fighter, a larger-than-life figure, and a real warrior. For most of his time with Inspection Tiger, Trush's job involved setting up sting operations and catching poachers. Trush came to know about the poacher, who was involved in damaging wildlife and injuring tigers for his greed. He decided to arrest the poacher at any cost and told his investigation team to find his weird beings. Shortly after dark on the afternoon of December 5, 1997, an urgent message was relayed to Trush at his home in Luchgorsk, a mid-sized mining town and primary territory in Russia's far east, not far from the Chinese border. The official on the line had some disturbing news. A man had been attacked near Siberian, a small logging community located in the deep forest 60 miles northeast of Luchgorsk. It was no one other than the same poacher who attacked the tiger. What happened to him was unbelievable. Trush began preparing for the trip to Siberian. Trush and his squad mates Alexander Gorborokov and Sasha Lazarenko piled into a surplus army truck and rumbled north. It took them a few hours to reach the poacher's house. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun was already in the southwest, level with the treetops. Any warmth generated during this brief, bright day was quickly dissipating. Trush looked at the cabin from afar. Crows were sitting on the roof, maybe because of the stench surrounding the area. Trush found it challenging to enter the house due to the smell. The devastated condition of the house explained what happened there. There were horrific scenes inside the cabin. After thoroughly investigating what happened inside the place, Trush realized that the tiger the poacher shot a few days ago was still alive. The injured tiger attacked the poacher in a way that appeared to be premeditated. The tiger staked out the poacher's cabin, systematically destroyed anything that had his scent on it, and then waited by the front door for him to come home. This wasn't an impulsive response, and the tiger could hold on to this idea for some time. The animal waited for 12 to 48 hours before attacking. The poacher was away for another 2-day hunt. The tiger took his life when he finally appeared. The tiger finally took his revenge and returned to the forest, but he returned again and later targeted the second man. Trush needed to anticipate the tiger's next move and then get there before the tiger did. It was a life-and-death, moment-by-moment chase, and at times it was hard for him to remember whether he was rooting for the tiger or the humans. Unfortunately, to save that person on the verge of getting attacked by the tiger, Trush had to do something he wasn't supposed to do. Despite warning the tiger that there were more people, it refused to retreat and attacked another person. Trush had no choice but to shoot the tiger down. Trush was charged not just with protecting tigers, but now with saving human lives. Trush loved wildlife and never wanted to take such a step, but he knew if he were a minute late, the person would lose his life. Later, he realized that the tiger was just trying to be a tiger. What was so fascinating about that region was that human beings and tigers were hunting for the same prey in the same territory and didn't have conflicts. But if you made the mistake of attacking a tiger, you would regret it. The late poacher learned that the hard way. The tiger's response was logical and understandable, but in the case of the revenge it exacted on the poacher, it was anything but typical. The tiger remembered the man's face and his body odor, which had injured him. It waited to get back on his legs and took a few days until he finally recovered from his injury. Later, he searched for the poacher and waited for him for days until he finally took revenge. This story is heartbreaking, and people must realize that animals also feel pain. We should stay away from them to protect ourselves and let them live. That's a wrap for today. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel to see our latest content.